I created death.
Frankenstein, November 2025. We've seen countless versions of Frankenstein over the years, some brilliant, some downright forgettable. But Guillermo del Toro's upcoming take, dropping this November on Netflix, might just be the most ambitious yet. This is a project he's been dreaming about since way back in 2007, and now it's finally becoming a reality. Del Toro says his version of Mary Shelley's classic will be more empathetic than any adaptation before it. But don't let that fool you. The trailer promises a chilling, atmospheric vibe, almost like Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. It's dark, gothic, and beautifully unsettling. Oscar Isaac will be playing Dr. Victor Frankenstein, and let's be honest, he was born for roles like this. Intense, brilliant, and just a little unhinged. Del Toro even said it himself. Victor is the real monster of this story. That alone sets the tone for a fresh, psychologically rich take on the classic. And then there's Jacob Elordi as the monster. Known more for his brooding pretty boy roles, this is going to be a massive leap into serious, emotionally heavy territory. Can he pull it off? We'll find out this November. But if Del Toro's behind the camera, you already know this one's gonna hit different. Toy Story 5, June 19th, 2026. Yup, it's really happening. Toy Story 5 is officially in the works, and honestly, the toy box still has a few surprises left. Pixar confirmed the sequel was in production back in early 2022, with franchise veteran Andrew Stanton, who's been involved in every Toy Story film except Lightyear, returning to write and direct. So what's the story this time? Well, things are getting a lot more modern. Stanton hinted that the toys will now face their biggest challenge yet, staying relevant in a world ruled by gadgets and fast content. Early concept art even shows Bonnie glued to her tablet, completely ignoring her toys. That's a pretty bold and super relatable direction for the story. This one's going full on into the smart device era. It's kind of poetic, honestly. Just like the toys are trying to stay relevant, so is the franchise itself. Woody and Buzz are officially back, with Tom Hanks and Tim Allen once again lending their voices. Tim Allen even revealed that he recently wrapped up a 5-hour voice session. At first, he said it felt a little strange stepping back into Buzz after all this time, but once he got going, it was like riding a bike. He even praised the script and shut down any talk about this being a cheap cash grab. According to him, Pixar wouldn't have called him or Hanks back unless they had a real story worth telling. So yeah, nostalgia, tech anxiety, emotional gut punches. Toy Story 5 is shaping up to be way more than just another sequel. We'll find out if Pixar can pull it off when it drops June 19th next year. The Odyssey, July 17th, 2026. Anytime Christopher Nolan announces a new movie, it's instantly an event. And just when fans were wondering what kind of mind-bending concept he'd tackle next, he surprises everyone by going full-on epic. The Odyssey is Nolan's bold reimagining of Homer's legendary poem, following the long and brutal journey of King Odysseus as he tries to make his way home after the Trojan War. And yeah, it's exactly as massive as it sounds. Matt Damon stars as Odysseus, and the first set photo already gave us a gritty, battle-worn look at his character. His mission? Get back to his wife Penelope, played by Anne Hathaway, and his son Telemachus, played by Tom Holland. But this isn't just a straight shot home. His journey is straight up chaos. Vengeful gods, mythical beasts, shipwrecks, betrayal, you name it. He ends up lost for 10 more years, drifting through ancient North Africa and the Mediterranean, losing his entire crew in the process. Meanwhile, back home, everyone thinks he's dead. His kingdom's falling apart, and Penelope is stuck fending off dozens of ruthless suitors, all trying to steal her throne and crown. More about cast. Zendaya joins the cast as the goddess Athena, Charlize Theron brings serious firepower as the sorceress Circe, and Robert Pattinson is Poseidon, ready to make Odysseus' life a living hell. The scale of this thing is insane. You've got gods and monsters, ancient cities, naval warfare, and emotional drama that hits like a tidal wave. And honestly, if there's anyone who can turn a classic myth into a modern cinematic powerhouse, it's Nolan. Just look at what he did with Dunkirk and Oppenheimer. So his Odyssey drops July 17th, 2026. Tron, Ares, October 10th, 2025. Back in 1982, Tron changed everything. It was one of the first movies ever to use CGI, and it took audiences straight into a wild neon-lit cyberworld. We met Kevin, played by Jeff Bridges, a software engineer who literally gets pulled into the digital frontier. Fast forward to 2010, and we got Tron Legacy, a slick, stylish sequel that followed Kevin's son, Sam, as he dove into that same digital world looking for answers. And now, 15 years later, Ares is coming. This isn't just another sequel, it's part continuation, part soft reboot. Disney's calling it the start of something new, meaning if it hits big, we could be looking at an entire new Tron timeline with multiple future installments. But unlike the first two films, most of Ares takes place in the real world. The trailer teases a digital invasion, rogue programs escaping from the grid and wreaking havoc in our reality. One even slices a police car clean in half. Yeah, this isn't just a simulation anymore, the stakes are way higher. Jared Leto steps in as Ares, a brand new character who's chasing down these dangerous cyber fugitives. His mission seems to be keeping the line between the digital and physical worlds from completely collapsing. And Jeff Bridges is back. At 75, he returns to the franchise he helped build from the ground up. That alone is reason enough to be hyped. Tron Ares hits theaters on October October 10th. The Black Phone 2, October 17th. The Black Phone dropped in 2022 and quietly became one of the best horror surprises of the year. Based on a short story by Stephen King's son, Joe Hill, the film was set in the gritty, eerie 70s and introduced us to Ethan Hawke's terrifying performance as the Grabber, a child-snatching serial killer with a mask you'll never forget. And yeah, he didn't survive the first movie, but in a world where ghosts make phone calls from the other side, anything's possible. The first film pulled in over $160 million worldwide and scored major love from critics, so it's no shock that Universal is now turning the Black Phone into a full-on horror franchise. Scott Derrickson is back in the director's chair. A third movie is already in the early planning stages, but first we're getting part 2 this October. Masters of the Universe, June 5th, 2026. He-Man is officially making his big screen comeback, and this time it's in a full-scale reboot with some serious firepower behind it. New Masters of the Universe adaptation is coming straight from Amazon and MGM, and they're not holding back. Nicholas Galitzine will wield the power sword as He-Man, but this version got a twist. Instead of starting in Eternia, Prince Adam is living as a regular office worker on Earth, completely unaware of his royal lineage. It's a bold reimagining of his origin, but one that could make the story feel more grounded, at least at first. Don't worry though, Eternia is still front and center. The story is expected to shift there as Adam begins to unlock his true destiny. There's also talk of major flashbacks, including Skeletor's backstory when he was still Keldor, the brother of King Randor, and that makes him Adam's uncle. Jared Leto has been cast as Skeletor, and you just know he's gonna bring something wild to that role. The director here is Travis Knight, the guy behind Bumblebee, which perfectly balanced nostalgic heart with modern flair. That's exactly the kind of energy Masters of the Universe needs. It's a classic franchise that's been quiet for a while, but with a reported $200 million budget, Amazon clearly believes in its return. So mark the date, June 5th, 2026. Fast 11, Summer 2026. Next Fast movie is racing into theaters next summer, right as the franchise celebrates its 25th anniversary. Yeah, it's been a quarter of a century since Dom and Brian first hit the streets of LA, with nothing but fast cars and family on their minds. In that time, series has gone from a street racing flick to full-blown global action blockbusters. We've seen cars fly between skyscrapers, parachute out of planes, and even launch into space. And now, Vin Diesel says it's time to come back home. According to his recent post, Fast 11 will return to the franchise's roots. The story's set in LA, just like the original, and features a lineup of iconic cars like Brian's Orange Supra straight out of the first movie. Think less satellites and submarines, more street races and personal vendettas. And yeah, that actually sounds kinda awesome. But there's still big action in the mix. Jason Momoa is back as Dante, and he's not done yet. The ending of Fast X left Dominic hanging on the edge of death in a massive cliffhanger straight out of the Avengers playbook. So yeah, the stakes are high. The question is, can director Louis Leterrier and the writers actually steer this wild ride back to its emotional street-level roots without losing the turbocharged chaos fans now expect? We'll find out when movie drops in 2026. One last ride? We'll see.